Yeah, welcome all. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. See if people are still joining.
Yes.
Rakesh, we have enough capacity in this room, right? This Zoom room?
Yes, we have 1,000.
I see the numbers are going up very fast. And this will be streaming actually. The session will be streaming. So.
Oh, there is Michael.
Bora, how are you?
Good, Hey, Mike, how are you? Looking good.
Boy, 104 participants. I'm impressed. 104 people.
Well, Michael, you compensate for everyone who will start here.
I had to rush to get from another meeting, believe it or not.
Okay, thank you. And you know, we have size of 1,000, so we can handle. Let all more people come.
When I went to put the
and he didn't bark. Where was he sitting?
in the garage, right near the car.
Rakesh, are we ready for streaming or the other session still going on?
We are streaming now. We are ready.
Are you streaming now? Okay. I think we can get started now. Let's see if everybody, unless you're speaking, if you can mute yourself, that would be great. Then we don't have much interference. I hope all of you can see my screen. Welcome to Meet the Editor session, which is our first journal session. And here I see a lot of our authors have also joined, would like to meet with our editors. And I see a lot of our department editors and senior editors in the room. So the agenda would be that we will first start with the basic what really happening with the journal and some of the new initiatives that we'll talk about. And we'll open up for the questions which can come from anybody, including our authors as well as any of the editors. And if time permits, the plan is that we can open the breakout rooms based on the department, where we would request all the department editors and senior editors to join that breakout room of your particular department. And anybody wants to meet with the DE and SE of that particular department, you can also join that breakout room. So to be on time and make sure that we have enough time for everything that we have planned for today, I'll start. And of course, we have Professor Kalyan Singhal here, our editor-in-chief. And I will start with the presentation, and Kalyan, you can just at any point you can add or correct me. So let's get started about the journal. Now, many of you already know about these facts, but I'll start with some of the things, and I see some of the new faces in the room. So it's good for you to know. This is the only OM journal on the Business Week list of top 20 journals, and we have 3 other prestigious lists and many more. We are in Financial Times list, UTD list, we are A-star in ABDC lists, and more. And I'll start with some of the statistics that we have that we would like to share with the community as well as our editors. Is that this is the survey that we had started doing. We asked our POMS members, and this question is about, let me see, Rakesh, can we mute people? So, Rakesh, you're there, right? Can you mute?
Yes, I'll mute them.
So here the goal was to ask that how is the tenure and promotion at the school count different journals. And in the recent survey, what we had was that, as you can see, the POM sits well. Management Science, which is an interdisciplinary journal, as we know, sits higher in terms of how many schools count it as A or better. So which is good. I think the schools are perceiving it very well. I'll not go into the details of this number. These are self-evident. As you can see, anybody has any questions, you can always ask Kalyan, or I will be happy to answer. And you know, I have my chat button open there. You can always ask in chat, or you can unmute yourself or ask. Feel free to ask any questions at any point. This is another data that we collected very recently, and we were trying to see, and we have done it for last 5 years and last 1 year. This is a very recent data. It was done a month or so back. We were trying to see that where the articles in top 50 FT schools are coming from in different journals, that how many articles are coming from top 50 schools. And we tried to get a sense of where our journal sits in terms of the in the top 50 schools in terms of the papers accepted. And as you can see, management science, which is interdisciplinary journal, we get a lot of papers in that where all the departments submit. And there are some finance journals, strategy journal, then come POM journal. Kalyan, you want to say anything more about this slide?
Nothing. First of all, no matter what you see, remember, no single criterion says everything. You just have to take everything with a pinch of salt. So there are other factors that determine the strength of the journal. But this is as good as it gets, that we rank number 5 out of all top journals. And the only journals that rank ahead of us is, of course, management science, which is very, very high. And then 2 finance and 1 strategic management journal. So we are doing reasonably well, but I will keep repeating that doing reasonably well is not enough. We have to keep doing much better than that. And I will talk more about it in a minute. Go ahead, Subodh.
Can I say something on that? It's kind of difficult to compare at all, because if you were to whittle down to operations management articles in management science, you might find it's less than. So you may as well be number 1 in that sense.
We are number 1. Suresh, management science OM article are much smaller number than even
like
MSOM.
15%, maybe 50% of the journal.
Right.
So all the other areas that are being published in management science are part of that 188.
Yeah, you're right. And
yes.
In fact, some studies are being done. Some scholars are looking at into that, how many papers are going in management science OM papers in last 5 years. Also their impact factor. So there is something going on. You will see more of that in next 1 year. I'm aware of some studies going on that, Suresh. So you're going to see some exact numbers, what is happening.
Also, finance and economics is very large field compared to our OM field in some sense.
Okay, now one more thing. We are not an elitist journal that look, all big name universities are publishing in our journal and nothing else matters. No, we will soon give you data that all the rest of the schools also publish in much larger number. More schools publish, forgetting the top 50. The rest of the school, more schools publish in POM than in any other OM journal. So for both top 50 and non-top 50, on both, we are number 1 journal. I mean, this has to be. I mean, we are a community journal. We have the largest number of OM members in POMS, so it had to be that way. So we have a broad acceptance of the journal, and we'll go on from there.
And hopefully in our next meeting, we will bring more data on that. That we are working on that right now. We had several new initiatives also. One of the things that in recent survey that came, that we have to increase our visibility both within the community and outside the community to the media side and all. And with the help of our VP publications, and I don't know whether Sriram is here or not.
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So thanks to Sriram for all of these things. This whole is his initiative. What we are doing is that we are asking, we have started requesting our authors to post their text block and video. We have experimented already. It has worked well, and it will be part of our decision letters very soon. Then we have started a podcast series which will have a combination of society and journal aspects. There's some fantastic podcasts. Please go there. I've created the tiny URL to make it easy to go there. And you can find all those links. Go to poms.org. On the top right, we have all our social media links. So it's very easy to access there. Please go there and see, and you will see what the fantastic job Sriram and his team has done. We will have a lot of these for our authors with the Ds and so on going forward. That's the plan. And we also have YouTube channel where we are going to post these papers, paper videos. So when video blog comes about the published papers, many times it's a lot easier for people to just see the video, short video, what the paper is about, and then go in details. So we already have experiments. Sriram, we have 1 or 2 papers already, right, on that channel, right, Sriram?
We have posted one YouTube video.
Yes.
So what we have just quickly done is that we have created a template for self. People can make videos on their own. It's very easy. So we are going to give them a PowerPoint template and say, please tell us in 3-4 minutes a managerially accessible link that other people can digest the article in easier formats. That's the idea.
And on our website, we are overhauling our website, which will look much better. Thanks to Sushil and his team, it looks much better. We have all the department structure much better. And one of the features that we are adding there is that all the authors here, all the editors, if you know of any POMS articles, any are referred in media, please let us know so that we can keep adding that. And so we'll do it both ways, media reach, we will highlight that, as well as we'll make sure that we reach out to media and do that. So, the visibility part, we are trying to increase a lot. And in the same line, we are also using now our social media pages more actively. If anybody has any question? No. And if you have not you are not part of our social media pages, please like. On POM, we have 2, on Facebook, we have 2 pages, one for society, one for journal. But for LinkedIn and Twitter, we have only 1 page. Facebook, we had started earlier, so we had 2 of them. And we have a lot of followers on that. You can easily find us. Again, all the links are in the top of poms.org. And once the website is changed in a couple of months, it will be a lot more accessible. We have around 3,000 followers on Facebook journal page and society also. LinkedIn also, it has been active. And Rakesh is our social media coordinator who's here too, and has been very active in during the conference as well as all the journals. What we do for the journals is that, and Twitter, of course, we have been more active lately with e-debate and all. For journal, we update all the paper as soon as it is accepted. Immediately after the acceptance, we post on all social media pages, so people can see the article, the title and the author, so they know that what is going on. As soon as it comes in articles in advance, we put it in there so that you can go and access that on a Wiley page and any special issue and journal related news. We are also promoting our text blogs and video blogs on our social media pages as well as for podcasts. So you see a lot of that. We want to make sure we are not overburdening you, but at the same time, the feedback we received is that we need to be more the view of going out and reaching out to people, and that's what we are trying to do. Any suggestions are welcome, and I would like more of you to basically write about it as soon as your paper is accepted, or even if you have accepted a paper as the DE, you can go and post. It's a great paper, and we will just make sure the tag POM Society or POM Journal, whichever channel we are using, tag us so that we can retweet it or repost it and like it. So don't forget to tag the proper journal or society depending on where you are posting, and keep writing about that. We have to promote our papers to make sure it reaches to the maximum number of people. So please use social media, whichever media you like. We have Instagram is the one where we are not, but we are thinking of getting there as well. But I don't think many of our members are Instagram followers. That's why we had not done that. But I think Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, a lot of you are there. So please help us in promoting our idea. So that was the one outreach part. Second piece was that review time, and that's where a lot of work we have been doing. Both Kalyan and I have been going very hard, and some of the serve to our community, our authors. the timing is extremely important. They go up for tenure. PhD students are trying to get job. If we cannot cut time, it's a huge disservice. We have a huge responsibility there, and I know that many of the authors are here. They I hope agree with me. What we have done, we had done a lot of efforts to do that, and in tomorrow's DE and SE meeting, I'm going to talk more about that. This number hopefully in 2021 will be much smaller than 57 based on what we have done. But the authors who are here, I can tell you, our goal is to give you feedback as soon as possible, quality as soon as possible, so that you move on. Yeah.
Okay, Subodh, anything else?
Yeah, just few more things. Then I'll give you platform. Okay, just give me 5 more minutes. Okay.
Four more minutes.
So the number of submissions, we all know that last year was an exception because of COVID. So we can't take that as the final number, but still it was a huge increase in submissions. That's why we need a lot of help from our editors and reviewers. Almost all of our author community is also our reviewer pool. The number of percentage of paper we moved to second round more or less have been around 20% for quite some time, and that has not changed. Number of acceptances have increased, and these are a little bit delayed, so I'll not talk too much on that, but I can tell you the percentage increase is more or less the same. Number of articles was little delayed because of the delay in production, but you will see a thicker volume in 2021. We keep adding new department based on where the area is going. So we had some renaming of the departments, refocusing, as well as some new departments which were catering to new areas. You will see that. And some quick statistics. I know Kalyan has given me only 4 minutes. I'll go very fast. You can see that this is, we are going everywhere, and Wali is helping us in giving a lot of philanthropic initiatives. We have free access in many developing institutions. The darker shade means we have more presence. Institutional reach has not changed over time, so I'll not spend time on that. It's more or less remains same. The article download trend is going up. The slope keeps changing, but the numbers are going up every year. Top 10 downloading country, again, China has been for last couple of years as the highest downloaded country, and it stays at that way even this year. In terms of the country of submission, we see a lot of submissions from US, but we have seen a large increase from China, as you will see here, and that also translates into the author contributing countries. Just very quick, this shows you, this is only what has been most downloaded from Wiley Library last year. That's where most of the downloads really happen for our paper. This is not what published last year, what most downloaded. So one of the papers actually was in actually long back, right? And of course, Kalyan is very proud of that paper. There are many other papers who came recently and have been, but there is a focus there. There's a lot of analytics. Huh? Yeah, Kalyan, you want to say something?
First of all, you will notice that 3 of the papers have Mohan Sodhi as a co-author. So it's a great tribute to him that his papers are downloaded. I don't know whether it's because of his name or because of the contents of the papers.
Mohan, you're here, right? I think Mohan is here. So,
okay, go ahead, Subodh. What else?
And then I will end, and then I'll give it to Kalyan. I just wanted to introduce in a few slides about a new initiative, which is not about POM, but we are still bringing it because Kalyan wanted to briefly talk about that. It's an MBR journal. How it is, it's a practitioner journal, but is different from any other journal like Harvard Business Review and all, because it's a grassroots initiative with different schools. We have a sponsored school there, and it is started by Wally Hoff, Chris Isner, and Kalyan. And we have 12 co-sponsors. You can go and read more about mbrjournal.com. And we have around 250 advisors. We have editors of prominent research journals in advisor list from all top schools and top companies as well. And Kalyan can go more on that when he talks.
Okay.
You can read the first issue, and it includes articles from top executives and from very senior people. Please share with your friends and colleagues, and ask them to elevate. These are our easy way to share. We can go to, again, our Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter page for MBR. And those who want to see some credentials, it was featured. Kalyan's interview was featured in Forbes. It also came in Poets and Quants. So I'll stop here and I'll let Kalyan talk more.
Okay. First of all, I want to acknowledge the presence of our senior statesman, Roger Schroeder. He is here. Roger, my regards to you. Second, we also have here George Shanti Kumar. As most of you probably know, that he is the one who edited the first issue of the journal, and that is what made our journal so popular. Now, there is another announcement. I have not even consulted with Subodh, but I want to make that announcement here. Look, if you have a paper and it's been rejected, because Subodh, can you remove this thing from the screen?
Yeah.
Subodh?
Yeah, I'm removing.
Okay. Now, by any of the editors for one of the two reasons: a major flaw in the process, not minor flaw, major flaw. You can appeal it to me and I'll look into it. Second, if you think the paper is rejected because it's a fundamental contribution and the reviewers, who are generally assistant professor, PhD student, didn't understand it, it's a great contribution, you can write to me. No journal has, I do that informally, but I never made it public, but we will do it. I had some authors had strange experience. In one of the top journals in our field, an author was asked that you should have differentiated the function with respect to a constant. Can you imagine? This is one of the top journals. Newton must be turning into his grave. So, the paper was rejected. So these things can happen sometimes. But if something like this happens, we will do our second. People are always, when there is delay in their review, they are very shy of writing to me. Maybe it will affect, it can affect the outcome. If there is a delay beyond a point, you can send an email to Subodh and me. You will get a response and action in 48 hours. In most cases, 72 in all of them. So we will do that now. Subodh, is there anything else that I should emphasize?
No, there are a few things that I will add, and then Kalyan, you can add to that, that I want to emphasize to both authors and editors. First of all, there are three things that I think we are focusing. Number one was the timeline. And in order to reduce the timelines, since many of our authors are also our reviewers, we are reducing the time given at each stage in the review process. And we are trying to be more consistent with other journals in the field. And we feel that that will make our process faster. That's the first thing. Second, to make sure that our review qualities are good, we have been talking to our department editors and senior editors that whenever they feel that the review quality is not up to the mark, before sending it to the author, they take action on that. So we want to give the highest quality of review to our authors. And we have been systematically working on that. And next 1 year, both Kalyan and I have devoted time to work on that aspect. And the third thing is that I wanted to highlight some of the changes that you will see both in our submission system and our web page. Some of them have already been done today. Some will be there by tomorrow. Now, some of the major ones that I want to just point out that we had not changed our submission guidelines for some time in terms of the number of pages requirement that we have already changed. You will see that on our website, and as an author, you should know, as editors, you should know. Second, you will also see that, we, in the submission system, we saw that sometimes the paper, if it has been rejected earlier, we don't allow resubmission of a rejected paper unless what Kalyan was talking about, appeal process and all. So we have made it more explicit. I think there was some confusion around that. So you will see in the submission system more talk about that. Another change was that conflict of interest. We don't allow authors to suggest any DE, SE or reviewers who they have conflict of interest with. And we have clearly defined that both on our web page, in our ethics statement, as well as in our submission system. So there's no ambiguity about that. And finally, a lot of you were asking about Latex templates. So please go to our web page. Latex template is already there. I would like to thank, very special thanks to Professor Emre Demirizan and Rakesh Melipedi, who worked very hard to get the template done, and Sushil Gupta as well. He helped us in that to get that template done. Please start using Latex template. Those who write papers in Latex, any problem, please let us know so that we can fix that. But it is already there, so you can start using it. That will make life easier for a lot of you. And it was kind of demand from many of us. I'll let Kalyan add to something, and then I'll, you can always ask questions by the way.
Okay, coming back, you saw a slide on management and business. When we started POMS, Bob Hayes of Harvard told us, we want articles that will be useful for practitioners. I said, sure, we'll do that. And then we did not receive any submission. All of them are research articles. We have now started a journal, which is just like Harvard Business Review, except that we have professors from all top schools and many non-top schools. There are even dozen advisors from Harvard. First issue is available for free. I request you to do two things. First, I want you to send the first issue to everybody you know, especially your colleagues in your school, and encourage them to submit their paper. This is a refereed journal. You will get a fair hearing, just like any refereed journal. And second, please tell your dean that they can customize the journal. Your school can take our journal, add its own content, articles about your faculty, some information from alum, and then you can distribute it to your alum, your business community. This can do wonders for the brand of your school. This can elevate your brand. Look, this is a community journal. Our goals are very different from Harvard Business Review. Our goal is maximize the number of readers, not maximize revenue, not maximize any other parameter. We want maximum number of people to read it. We will never succeed in that. But my guess is there are potentially 1 billion people who can read that. Even if we reach 1% of that, we will see. So this is where you pay attention. But coming back to POMS, if there is any issue of any kind, feel free to write to Subodh or me, and you will get a response. And don't feel shy that no, you cannot write to me. Any other suggestion specific to your paper, in general about the society or POMS, we will do something about it. Any question from anybody?
And if you're writing to Kalyan, always copy to me as well. That's a good idea, so that it doesn't get
Yes,
lost.
always copy to him, yes.
Yeah, Arunima,
he responds a little faster than I do.
No, that's not true, but I just want to make.
Can I make a suggestion on the journal submission thing?
Yeah.
If I may right now. I think there's a tendency by the review team to just push in the major revision, even though it's become a minor revision, it's become conditional acceptance, it's always a major revision. And that's not a very good practice, because the authors need to know that there's some progress being made. And there are some stages. It used to be several levels of categories which are basically abandoned. I now even see people saying, oh, it's a minor revision, but I just want the authors to work hard and I just want to say it's major revision. So I think there must be some categories well thought out so that the people can see the progress. And that might also help you reduce the time, during which the paper is sitting in the journal. That's a suggestion.
Yeah, I can comment, and then maybe Kalyan can add to it. I think that's a good point, Suresh, and that's what we have been telling to all our Ds and SCs when we are meeting. that be constructive, but sometimes it's a very gray area, Suresh. It's very hard to say. If the Ds and SE strongly feel that it is not minor, that we will do. But one change I forgot to talk about, that based on the comments from a lot of our community people, we have added more category in the decision. Right now we have acceptance, minor revision, major revision, and reject.
Okay, that's
So we
fine.
have added 2 more that will show up by this week actually in the submission system to the decision. One is the conditional acceptance, and you're right. Some people didn't know I want to accept it, but I want to see it one more, and there was nothing like that. So conditional acceptance, it also helps people when they are going up for tenure, and this is like a lot of papers come like 10 days before your packet submission. I think conditional acceptance has little more weightage. And we are also adding reject resubmit, and there have been some history on that. Many journals have done that, but more than that, many of our DEs felt that what was happening with sometimes these papers go through this revision and maybe it requires a new team, but there is a value. In fact, a lot of them are informally giving reject resubmit anyway. So that will be added in the system. But you're right, Suresh, we can, this is something that we need to keep talking to Ds and SEs.
Yeah, thank you. The review team is in a business of serving the authors, not the otherwise. It's not the other way around.
No,
Look, always focus on the comments of the editor. You can ignore. If the editor says major revision, you can assume it is minor if the contents say minor revision. That doesn't hurt one way or the other. So Suresh has a point, but you can get around it.
Rachna, you have a question?
Yeah, I have actually 2 questions. You talked a bit about the time in the first round, so from submission to first decision. Can you also talk a little bit about time in process from submission to acceptance and the yield rate or percentage? That's my first question. And second, also, if you could talk a little bit about the reject and resubmission guidelines when you get a chance. Thank you.
First of all, we cannot answer that question because that cycle includes how long the paper stays with the author.
That is correct.
So that part, we cannot answer that question. The first question from submission to acceptance. So that is answer to first question. Your second question is comment on reject and resubmit. Your specific question. The author should revise and resubmit.
Yeah, so, that category is getting very confusing, especially because there are different criteria at different journals. So because the community is the same, it would be good to have some insight into that.
All right. Reject and resubmit means you can resubmit the article, but there is no guarantee that if you take care of all the issues described, paper will be accepted. It's a risky revision.
Yeah, see, there's one more thing, Rachna, to that. See, revise the submit process as consistent with all the journals in the field. What we have, the process is that whether it's a risky or not risky, it goes back to the same team and they go through that. Rarely we change the review team, right? Reject resubmit is little more than that. First of all, we are giving more time for authors. That's the one part of it. That's the first part. And the second part is that which happens, in risky revision, they keep asking for extension, which is headache for everybody and it adds a lot of pressure on the author. So it gives them little extra time. They realize that there has significant concerns. Major revision, sometimes they take some of the concerns lightly. So it also pushes reviewers and authors. And when it comes back, then it's not necessarily the same thing. So that is another thing that is there. So those are the fundamental difference, Rachna. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think that's, thank you for the answer. That's what I was trying to get to. Like, does it go to the same review team, same DE, SE, something like that? So
preferably,
that's very useful to know.
Yes, preferably, yes. But sometimes author may request that we want a new
team.
So that is the thing, right? So that revise, resubmit, it becomes tricky. So that is the other thing. And we don't have submission to final decision. If the paper is accepted, Rachna, as Kalyan told, those numbers are very, very variable. There's so much variance in that because some reviewers some authors take really long time, and some papers go very long time in revision. So just to correct, we have the number, but there's so much variance that it is, it's not a good idea to even talk about it.
No, thank you. I just asked because some journals reported. That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, let's take more questions.
Yeah, Johnny. Johnny?
No, questions.
No, I did. No, not so fast. Would it be possible to actually not have the reviewers actually make a recommendation, leave the recommendation to the senior editor in the DE?
We can talk, Johnny, tomorrow on the DESC meeting.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Ronak?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
I had a general suggestion. Say, for example, Informs has its own revenue management and pricing section YouTube channel, where it showcases some of the research done by the students on the topic. And there is this also Informs auctions and market design part, which basically highlights the research in the current in those areas. So how about bringing up the new POMS has come up with some new sections as well to showcase the papers in those sections, to showcase the to increase the visibility. POMS can in general have certain session like that, where students who are working on those
you're talking about
areas can
conference or
showcase their
journal?
research. Just
Ronak,
like
you're
Informs
talking about the conference or the
No,
journal?
No, sir. If you go to YouTube and search about Informs RMP section, there are certain videos available which talk about some of the students working in those areas who showcase their research in that area. And
Oh.
Informs has also its own auctions and market design thing. So something of that sort.
We have been trying to do that. That's a very good suggestion, Ronak. That's what Sriram, our VP publication, is working on right now, that we make even create sections. And Sriram actually had come up with this idea that some of the papers we will categorize in different sections when we have all this video. So that's a good suggestion. Thank you, Ronak.
Okay, next question.
And our plan is that if you want to talk more to the DE and SE of your interest, I think I see that some of you have suggested in the private message, and I think that's a good idea. Let's see a few more questions here. Otherwise, what we will do, the plan is that we'll open the breakout rooms where the DE and SEs will be assigned to respective departments, and then any author. You can join to one of those rooms so that you can ask specific questions to them, that how they would accept your paper. That can be done. But before we open the breakout room, any other questions you have that you would like to ask here?
I have a question from Kalyan.
With that, you had your hand raised.
Kalyan, I have a question from you. You talked about the paper and appeal to you. Maybe if the DE, what about the level of DE that realizes that the reviews may not be all that great, and he can take a decision, he or she can take a decision, maybe check with you, which may not agree with the reviews. I've seen many situations where that happens.
Which is fine. That is fine.
And I also want to tell you a little, if you have 1 minute, I want to, you talked about this appeal to you, but Bill Cooper told me a story that he had a paper one time in management science that all the referees rejected. And the two referees were Franco Modigliani and Milton Friedman. He wrote to them, both of them, that he decided to publish the paper, and they can write a rebuttal to the paper, and he will publish the rebuttal in the journal. That was management science. Both of those guys did not do the rebuttal. The paper was published. That paper was Bill Sharp's paper.
By the way, Modigliani and Friedman, as you know, both are Nobel laureates, and little more than Nobel laureates. Okay.
They rejected the paper, did not want to rebut it. Bill Cooper accepted it. That was the paper that actually got the Nobel Prize. And that was Bill Sharp.
Two Nobel laureates rejected the paper that got the Nobel Prize. There are many other stories I can tell you, that just because the reviewers rejected the paper doesn't mean anything. Paul Krugman got the Nobel Prize based on two papers. One of them was published in Journal of International Economics. It was a very simple paper. If two countries are alike and still there is trade between them, it is because of monopolistic competition. It was known, everybody knew that. But how do you explain that mathematically or graphically? Paul Krugman provided a very simple graphical explanation of monopolistic competition. Both reviewers rejected it. And the editor was a former professor of Paul Krugman. He couldn't care less about conflict of interest. He went ahead and published the paper. It was one of the papers for which he got the Nobel Prize. Nobody is getting Nobel Prize right here in POMS, but as far as just great. But if you have a paper, you think it's a fundamental contribution, and the reviewers did not understand, which is quite likely because some junior people review papers and sometimes the senior editor may not pay enough attention. If you have an issue, write to me, or if the paper is so fundamental you don't even want to submit to regular submission, send it to my via email and I will process it myself.
With that,
thanks, Subodha. Thanks, Kalyan and Subodha, for this session. I have a quick question in line with the journal serving the author's thinking. When you pick a certain area, let's pick healthcare that I'm familiar with and serve as an SE for, you go to major journals and you'll find the same people in the associated teams of the major journals. So yes. I personally do not find that very helpful to the authors. And I do not find that a way of differentiating your journals and trying not to be an elitist journal, as Kalyan claimed. So what are your thoughts about this issue that, you know, the one person serves as an associate editor for three of the four top journals in the same area, let's say?
All right, first, I would send an email that if you have reviewed this paper before, please don't, because the author should have a fresh chance. And don't make it formal, inform the editor-in-chief, and we will make sure that we don't choose that. There is nothing else we can do about it.
See, one thing you have to realize with that is that we are getting 1,600 submissions. So then we have seen the quality goes down. So we need help from a lot of people. So avoiding complete overlap, you know, we don't have that many people in each area, you know, it's a logistic constraint. You have to realize that. And not everybody agree to do the job or not doing a good job. So we'll have some overlap. But as Kalyan told, we are working and we will work more to make sure that this does not happen.
We will send an email. We'll send an email based on what Vedat has said that, look, if you have processed this paper before, please let us know, and we will not tell any reviewer or anybody. Because once you say, look, this paper has been rejected by another journal, it immediately gets a bad name. And I'm not for it. Every author should have a second chance because review process is not perfect. I just gave you an example. An author, one reviewer, an editor, and this was a departmental editor of a journal who wanted a function to be differentiated with respect to a constant. There was another person who wrote to the author, but we need an application. Baba, an application has been published, another. No, we need an application here. Yesterday, we honored Howley, his famous paper, the most famous paper in operations management about what is it about?
Bullwhip effect.
Bullwhip effect. These are four simple cases, simple mathematics, and there is nothing else in it. There is no application except they say, well, it was seen in Procter and Gamble. So come on, these things can happen. And if you bring it to our attention, we will take care of it. And if, as an author, if you receive the same report and you know this person has processed your paper before, write to me and we will do something about it.
And you know, some of the utilities journal that I don't know whether you're aware, they actually ask you that if this paper were rejected in any other journal and give an explanation. I didn't know, and they told give an explanation of why it was rejected in a paragraph. I had not seen that earlier, but that area people told is very common in their discipline, and it's one of the utilities journals. We are not planning to do that. We want to give a fresh look, and that's how it should be. I think it's the time to open up the session for the breakout rooms. Again, the idea is that DE and SEs, please join the breakout room, which is given by your name. Everybody is allowed to join the room of your own. Please join that room. And if you are SE in two departments, you can pick whichever you want. And then second thing, authors, please join any of the rooms where you would like to go. You can come back to the main room and join another room as well. Neil has a question. Should a referee who rejected a paper of another journal refuse an assignment to review it for form? Yeah, that's what Kalyan was saying, Neil. That so everybody, Kalyan's question was that should a referee who rejected a paper for another journal refuse an assignment to review it for
Yes,
form?
he should.
They should.
So,
Yeah, that's what we should.
And by the way, this whole nonsense in some other discipline, that if it has been rejected by another journal, we want to know. We don't want to know. Not because we are low-level journal. If somebody else has rejected, you can submit it here. No, everybody should get a fresh chance. That is why we have so many journals. If rejection by another journal is an issue, then let's have only one journal. So if a paper has been rejected by another journal, for us, it is a non-issue.
So we have 15 minutes in the breakout room. Enjoy there. Please join the room of your interest. Yeah, please. Yeah, Neil, we will do that. I think that's a good idea. Neil is saying notify it to potential referees. Maybe we can send an email to the community, not only to our DESC. That's our policy. So we can. That's a good suggestion, Neil. Yeah. So we have 15 minutes to do that. For the breakout room, I want all the authors to chance to talk to. Again, DEs and SEs, please join the breakout room of your department. And authors, please, you can join any of those as well. All of you are do that. Now, I'm opening the room, everybody, so don't ask questions right away. Yeah, I think Rakesh has opened it. Yeah, so please go and join the room of your department, DE and SEs, and authors, you can join to any room you want. Okay, all the rooms are open. They are by the name of the department. And you can stay in this room. Kalyan and I will be here if you have questions for us.
Those who are staying in this room can still ask.
So I want to, Kalyan, this is Vedat and Subodha. I want to elaborate on what I was trying to say because.
Yeah, Subodh, let me deal with this question. Yes.
Yeah. So actually, there are pros and cons about the policy you just announced in the sense that, you know, if somebody sends the same paper without even paying attention to referee reports, same referee reviews it and says, you know, they didn't even change anything. I had reviewed this paper. That's valuable information. I'm not against that. So I wasn't talking about same person reviewing the same paper. I was talking about people being in power positions by saying that if you're going to publish a paper in healthcare, you're going to have to pass through this person because she is in the associate editor team of 3 of the 4 top journals. So you took it to a different path. That's what I was referring. I was referring to power positions. So, and if you take the union of the associate editors, and I'm proud to be one, don't get me wrong, but that will add up to about 20, 25 people. And I can assure you there's more than 25 good healthcare researchers in the field that I know or in sustainable operations that I know very well. So there is more to that. What I was suggesting is that you avoid the application if possible.
So what is your recommendation? What do you think we should be
My
doing?
recommendation is that if you approach somebody, you see him in 2 other associate editors, you say to him, well, do you have the time? And well, you know, maybe I'll pick someone who doesn't have an associate editor job.
That I would prefer to do that. But the problem is that there are very few people and it's very difficult to find people who don't serve other journals. And I'm aware of power situation. Just because this is something I have seen in a paper that, look, I reviewed this paper, I asked the author to do A, B, C, and he has not done it. So why should he waste our time? My answer to that associate editor is he has every business to waste your time because he does not agree with you. You ask him to do ABC, he doesn't want to do that. An author should have full freedom to seek review from another journal without making any change. So I have come across this situation several times in last 30 years.
Why that problem cannot be solved by having a few more AEs?
Which is what we have done.
Is there only one AE in there or what?
No. By mistake, it can go to a, we will not know in advance which AE has seen it before. So that problem cannot be solved unless the AE comes back and says this is the issue.
Rakesh, one technical question. Some people are asking, how do I join the breakout room? Shouldn't it show for everybody?
They should get an option. If you're unable to join, send me a message. I will put you in that breakout room.
Yeah, write everybody to Rakesh or write in the message.
Yeah, you can just put a message in the chat.
Yeah, just put a message. I think Hongbin and Nicola is saying they have a problem joining. Please write to all, not just to me. Rakesh knows more than me on this, and he's
Vedat.
Yes, sir.
Is Michigan State not as cold as McGill, or it is colder?
No, it's warmer.
Oh, okay, good. Because to me, Michigan State is very, very cold. That means McGill is even colder than that.
Yes, it's all relative, Kalyan.
Yes.
And Kalyan, yesterday, Vedat played very well. He has a very nice performance in cultural program. So, very talented.
Well, since I missed it, I'll have to go to East Lansing.
Oh, sure.
Or you can watch the video. We have the video.
Okay,
But yeah, East Lansing is better.
Yeah, McGill gets this ice seats on the sidewalks, which I'm not sure Michigan gets. So the Montreal is famous for black ice. You can almost not walk on those sidewalks when they get this ice sheets.
And there is always, I mean, the problem is the snow doesn't go off the ground. I mean, here the snow goes off the ground. There, like there's snow months and months.
Sir, may I ask a question, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so, sir, last year I submitted one paper in POMS and I got a very good feedback, actually, a number of positive feedback, negative feedback, and all the reviewers actually liked the area of research and everything, rejected. But the feedback that I received actually I could have done that revision, but the paper was rejected. So my question is, how is actually it is decided whether a paper will be given for revision or it will be rejected? So how is it typically decided?
First of all, tell me your name, Subodhvit.
Tell
me your name.
Piyal Sarkar.
Piyal, first thing is that there are so many people, so I don't know who is decided how. If you are not satisfied, write to him that, look, you have asked me to do this, I can do that. If it is response, then write to me. That is how you.
Yeah, the only thing PL should be that the decision basically is, it's a collective thing. It's not a binary thing, right? So every D and SE, they look at the collective thing. And it's not a voting thing that reviewers say that, yes, then they have to decide. They have to look at the prospect and whether it can be done or not. But if you think that the process has some serious issues, you can always first contact the DE, and then, if needed, you can contact to Professor Kalyan Singh, right? But you should have a good point on why you think the decision was not right.
Sir, the thing is, sir, after I got the feedback, actually, it was very nice. Actually, it helped me a lot to revise my paper, and I'm very grateful for that. But the thing is, I received a message that I encourage the authors to continue in this research directions, and whatever feedback was given, I implemented that. And I thought that if I was allowed to do a revision, I could have done that, but it was rejected. So I had to go to another journal. So that is why I just asked, what is the criteria to get a rejection and to get a revision?
Tell the same editor that, look, I can revise it. Would you take it? And if you think his approach is not reasonable, you can write me. Okay. When we created this journal, we made it very clear that no egos are involved. Nobody will feel upset if their decision is eventually overruled. If it helps you, I submitted only one research paper to POMS soon after the journal was founded. I thought at least I should submit a paper. 2 reviewers wrote that this does not meet the criterion, that this paper is not relevant to this journal according to the criterion established by Kalyan Singh. So that is how they rejected my paper. So these things can happen.
By the way,
that paper was eventually published in Operations Research.
Kalyan, one thing that I really want to mention is that line that you just said to me, the line saying that this journal is a flagship journal and this doesn't meet the standard of this journal, it's a ground of rejection. It's kind of insulting to the authors.
What?
You know,
the statement in the decision letter.
that the reason should not be, well, this is a flagship journal and
Who says that? Who said that?
this is done all over the place.
If it is done, Subodh,
Yeah.
make
This
a
is an
note and we will
insulting
write
remark that I
to the,
see many times.
we will
Suresh.
write to our team not to say that. No.
No.
Yeah,
You see,
talk
in
about
our-
the paper. Talk about the paper. Don't say how good your journal is, because that's insulting.
I agree with Subodh.
Yeah,
With Suresh.
Suresh, one thing. You must have one of those templates, right? We have revised it over time with a lot of suggestions.
That's a good idea.
Can you send me your suggestion? You must have one of those letters, right? Can you tell me remove this paragraph and change it this way? Can you send an email to me?
Well, I will try to find one, but it may be a different journal. But I cannot remember all of those things. But I will try to find one.
I can send you our rejection template, and if you can suggest anything, that will be great.
I'll find one because
No, I will send it to you. I'll send it.
I don't like somebody to tell me what is the standard of POM, or I don't like anybody to tell anybody what's the standard. Talk about the paper, but not talk about.
Subodh, wait. Look, I just saw Eric Johnson here on the screen. Years ago, I saw a rejection letter from Eric Johnson to somebody saying, "We are honored with your submission." We borrowed that sentence without seeking his permission. Respectful to authors as we can.
Yeah, Eric, it is in our letter now. So it comes from you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that sentence actually came from Eric Johnson.
Yeah. When I started 7 years back, Kalyan told me that Eric wrote, and please add in all the letters.
Yeah, so that's a better line than saying, "Oh, our journal is this and this." You does.
No, we don't. Suresh, this may have happened in a rare cases, but it is not a regular thing to happen.
Yeah,
When you publicly say an exception thing, people think this is a normal thing. It is not so.
I think it happens more at management science, but I think many journals.
We are not management science. We don't do what management science does.
I understand, but the journals, the referees are the same at different places.
Yeah, and I cannot publicly criticize management science. It's another journal, and they have their own culture.
No, but many people do write that. So I will send you, Subodh, a few examples. I just want to say, should not be done.
The default template is certainly does not have, and by the way, Suresh, we are meeting with all the Ds one-to-one, Kalyan and I, and this is the thing I will certainly note.
Please, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
How come, Suresh, you never told me all these things which you are saying now? Although I talked to you so many times.
I did write to you, but you said I have a good point, and you wrote that and you replied that to me by email.
Yeah.
I can send you that email if you want.
He complains to me more than you, Kalyan.
I first complained to you. First, I complained to you offline. I'm not talking about my paper at all. I'm just talking in general for the journals.
I want to tell everybody who is present here that I have known Suresh since we were 16 years old, and this is Suresh. Pay attention to everything.
And he is my professor, so he can tell me whatever he wants.
Yeah, no, I'm doing this for the journal and not a specific paper that I submitted.
No, I agree.
It's not important.
Okay, let us see if there are more questions, Subodh, because time is running out. We have one more minute left officially, although we can go on.
Yeah, so anybody have any other questions? A lot of people are in breakout room, but I think all the authors went to their department to talk to their editors. And those who are not here can go. Rakesh, the breakout room can stay open for 5 more minutes, right? They will not close automatically. Right? Don't close them. Let's stay if somebody are talking.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, let's keep it for 5-10 minutes at least. Okay, don't close them automatically.
I don't know if it will close. Let me check if I can not do it.
Okay. Any other questions? I know we are coming close. I'll broadcast this message to all.
Just thanks for my name is Jay, and thanks for this organizing this POMS and sort of, I was in the EDSI sort of things in Europe, and I come from UK. So the thing is, we are working on a blockchain paper, and it's sort of design science research things. We are designing with the Python, etc., for implementation and manufacturing. What section, what department do you think we can submit the paper?
Yeah, so there are two things. We have a special issue right now, which is co-edited by Jeff Parker, Ed Anderson, and Ricky Tan. You can certainly submit to that. Another is that there's a department called Disruptive Technologies and Operations Management. And that paper will fit right there, actually, to Professor Vijay Mukherjee.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other question?
Yeah, any of these kind of questions, these are easy ones. Happy to answer. Okay, I think we are coming to the close to the time. We can stay for 2-3 more minutes because I see the breakout room. So what is the status with the breakout room, Rakesh?
They will automatically close in 45 seconds.
Oh, they will all close. Oh, okay. So yeah, when they all come here, we will thank them and we'll close the session. I think
Are they going to come back here?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
They all
And
will come.
Rakesh, we can continue here for a few more minutes.
Yes, yes, we can continue as long as we want until business meeting. This room is available.
Oh, this Zoom is not anywhere. Yeah, this is the large room, Kalyan. So this is only for the special session. This does not go to presentations. So.
Subodh, just one, lots of familiar faces, folks. Hello, how are you? I haven't seen you all for so long. It is wonderful to connect. All right.
Yeah, thank you, Asil. Thank you.
No.
Very much. It was very insightful.
Time is up for 15 minutes breakout room. You closed it, Rakesh? Yeah.
Yeah, they will be here in 60 seconds.
Okay, so let all of them come and then we will thank everybody before leaving or any other questions. Actually, it works out pretty good. I was a little worried that how the Meet the Editor will work. Maybe it's better than in person.
No, we can organize this Meet the Editor session after 2 months also, even without a conference.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it works out good?
Yeah, so we will do something like this. We'll try. I want to stay in touch with the community.
Yeah. No, I think it worked out great. Let everybody come back and then we can make that 19 seconds. Everybody will be here. Now, since everybody is coming back here, a few things I would like to add. First of all, thank you to all the editors and authors, and more importantly, authors for joining today. This session was streaming on YouTube, so you can always find the video there. All the videos are going on POMS YouTube channel, and you can find the link again at poms.org on the right-hand side. You go there and you will find all the links. So if you miss the first part or any part, please go there and watch. That's the first thing. Second, you can always write to Kalyan and me if you have any questions at any point. Feel free to contact us. Don't hesitate. My paper is late. I've heard from people, oh, if I write, then my paper will get rejected. Certainly not. So, please write to us. We are trying very hard to make sure that no paper get delayed. But if you have any urgency, like I'm going up tomorrow and can be done, we have done that. So please write to us. Please don't hesitate. It will never go against you. Third, as Kalyan was
you are,
go ahead.
Go ahead. If you are up for tenure, we put a special effort to expedite your paper. We have no control on the decision, but we do have control on the process. If you have a deadline of your tenure, let me know in advance, and I will do my best to expedite it. I will take over the paper from the departmental editor, or I will contact the senior editors or the reviewers. There are cases in which I have been able to get the paper reviewed within a week. So all those things are possible if you have an urgent need about the review time.
One of the paper I can tell you recently, the person was going up, and I see some of those co-author editor in the room. We got the whole round decision in 21 days, thanks to the DESC and reviewers. And this was a major revision. So we can get it done if you need that. And as Kalyan told, we'll try to have more meetings, not just wait till the annual conference. So maybe we'll try to have more of these because they don't seem to be bad.
We have right now on the screen, I can see two editors of this, our new department, Sunil and Jeff, if they have to say anything.
Yeah, Sunil is our the latest department editor who has joined. So Sunil,
Jeff is just smiling, not saying anything.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Very
Kalyan.
happy that Sunil joined, and we're very excited. We have a special issue call out, and that's really our effort to essentially highlight the department, because we changed its direction about 2 years ago. It's new business models and operations innovation, and that's transferred over from an older department name of e-business, which I think is really too broad, and there are several departments that fit in that category. So we're narrowing it down and putting a tighter focus. And special issue, we'd love to see submissions will kind of help move that forward.
If nobody has any other questions, I think we'll stop at this point. Thank you very much again, all of you. Kalyan, should we close the room now? Okay. Thank you all. Oh, you are on mute, Kalyan. You are on mute, Kalyan.
Sometimes people ask me, can we get tenure just by publishing the POMS journal? There are many examples. Some good schools have given tenure, and number one, the first person to do that was Jeff Parker. And I still remember all the details. He's waving his hand. It was in 1990s. He published his papers in POMS journal, and Tulane gave him tenure. So you should be all right. All right, I'll see you in the next session if you are in AC or a D tomorrow. And Subodh, if there is anything, give me a call on the phone.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.